Luke, you've got one more story tonight.
I do.
I'm going to cue that music, and this is the big one. You haven't really told me what it is, but this is the one I know that you're proud of. I can see the look on your face. So,
This one is called The Dog. This is from a trucker. She was been doing this for a very short period of time. At this point, just a few months. She shared a few of her stories from her exploits at night. When I first took this job to be a over-the-road trucker, I thought it'd be really exciting. I thought I'd get to travel the country and see the sights and come home with stories to tell my friends and family. I was right. The job is exciting, but I soon found that I'm better off not sharing these stories with anyone close to me. Not because I don't trust them, because I'm worried they wouldn't believe me. Let me back up. My name is Brittany. I'm 22 years old. I've been driving with a rather large company for a few months now. I won't name the company due to obvious reasons. Ever since my training ended and I got my own truck to start solo, I've seen some pretty weird stuff. When you're driving the loneliest road in America, and yes, that's its real name, in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, things can start to get to you. I suppose it was only a matter of time before I saw something out in the desert at nearly midnight. I still had another hour to the nearest truck stop, and blasting the freezing cold air against my face was all I could do to keep myself from dozing off at the wheel. Irresponsible, I know, but until you work this job, you don't understand how much lax comes with it. I was driving this highway in the desert, in the pitch blackness of a cold summer night, when suddenly something runs out in the road in front of me. Before I can even react, it's gone across the other side into the bushes. I barely get a good look at it, but I could have sworn it looked like a large white dog. Faster than any dog I've ever seen. Try to ignore it and keep driving. I see animals crossing the road at night all the time. It didn't seem like anything to get worked up about. Not even a minute later, I feel my truck lurch to the left and into the other lane. I quickly try to swerve and correct it and easily step on the brakes so I don't wreck it. It'd be easy to jackknife an 80,000-pound death machine. I slow it down and regain control. I look for the nearest pullover spot so I can see what the hell just hit my rig and see if there's any damage. Once I find the spot and turn off, I hit my brakes and hop out. I walk around to the other side and see a large dent in the side of my trailer. What the hell? I said to myself. I walk over to inspect the side of the trailer. It's a huge dent, 5 feet wide and 5 feet tall. No real shape to it, just a general dent. I can't imagine what could have hit me. The first thought was maybe a boulder rolled down the side of the hill and smashed into me. But I didn't think I was driving next to any hills or mountains that could have done that. As far as I knew, it was flat desert. I hear the sound of dirt crunching under footfall behind me, and I turn around. My breath catches in my throat and my stomach drops as I see something standing not 50 feet away from me. It's large, menacing, and white. Can't even find the words to describe what I saw. It looks like a large dog, but that's a stretch. It stood on 2 short legs, with long forearms reaching down past its knees. Its shoulders were broad and heaving as it just ran a marathon. Its head was mostly shaped like a wolf, with a large snout filled with razor-sharp teeth bared in a snarl, saliva dripping from its maw. Its eyes bore right through me, filled with hatred or hunger or something I couldn't tell. Couldn't move, was frozen in place. This creature stood between me and my only salvation, the truck. We stared at one another, and I broke the silence, and I called it ugly. It snarled at me, and then very unexpectedly it turned and walked slowly away using all 4 of its limbs, and receded into the bushes and into the night. I stood there for what felt like several minutes, but it was probably just a few seconds, wondering if it would jump out and feed on me at any moment. It never came back. I ran into the front of my truck and jumped inside, locked the door quickly and floored it as fast as you can for an 18-wheeler, which is not at all. Soon I was back on the highway and barreling down as if my life depended on it. For a while, it felt like it did. Within a half an hour, I found myself at a truck stop and shut down for the night. Sleep was difficult. I was certain every noise I heard was that damn creature returning. Luckily, the night went on without another incident. I have more stories to tell, but this is getting long, so I think I'll stop here. Remember, guys, be careful out there on the road. You never know what else is out there with you.
You seen the white dog, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So this thing's powerful enough to dent the trailer.
Yeah, we're back in the Southwest again, right?
We're back in the Southwest again. Let's note that.
So someone commented on this, and they said that it sounds like something that they had heard a skinwalker being able to do before.
No.
And like, so she described it as like on its hind legs and with really long forearms that went down real far, which once again kind of leads into the skinwalker. Now, this person doesn't know it's a skinwalker, didn't mention that it was, so I didn't really think it was 100% related, but the person who commented on this story did say that they thought it sounded like one.
People are asking what was the noise like?
The noise of the creature?
Yeah, it's like a snarled, you said, right?
She just snarled at her, yeah. Kind of like an animal.
And the first thing she thought of was calling it ugly.
I guess at that point you would just say where it pops into your head the first time. If you see something that you can't really explain.
That sounds scary. I think of some other choice words I'd probably say, but nevertheless. I don't know. That's crazy. I wonder how close it actually was to her. I don't know. There wasn't like the greatest detailed description on that.
She said 50 feet.
She said 50 feet? Okay. Yeah. That's actually pretty close still, but still far enough away where you wouldn't get like a perfect view, I guess, of everything at night, right? Driving in the middle of nowhere.
It was midnight.
Sometimes when I'm driving down the road at night, I often you look off to the side, you're like, did I see something out there?
Yeah.
But it's crazy because it actually did happen. You know, she thinks she sees stuff all the time, but I think the big bang is that from it hitting her trailer would be terrifying. Then you get out. First thing you got to do is I got to investigate this, right? I got to check this out.
Yeah, especially depending on what she was holding. You know, it's a trailer, so it wasn't like flatbed with like roll steel or some crap like that. So
you think she's hauling dog food?
Possibly. She never mentioned.
That's crazy though. So you get out, you have to check out your truck, right?
Yeah.
And then you come across that. People were saying in the comment in the chat during this, get back in the truck. But I like how she also brought up that it's not like you could just jump in a semi and take off like a car, right?
Yeah, it's like something that takes a second to get going.
Yeah, you got to power that thing up. You got to get through all that stuff. That's a pretty cool story. All white, she said, right?
Yeah, all white. So not the black dog.
It was standing on its two legs. As it was looking at her, she came face to face with it 50 yards away.
Yeah, and then when it went away, it got on all four again.
It's just so weird that it like runs into her vehicle, a trailer, and it just makes its presence known, and then it just walks away into the night.
Yeah. Things out there that might have a different idea of what to do, you know?
Yeah, you seen the white dog, didn't you? Somebody say. I think we got to watch the video now.
Yeah.
You saw the dog, didn't you?
What dog?
The black dog.
You mean like the Led Zeppelin song?
No, Cruz knows what I'm talking about, don't you? I've heard truckers talk about it on the yard. They say it comes when you've been on the road too long and pushing too hard. When you get greedy. They say it comes to take everything away from you.
And it did. I was, hauling a load up from Atlanta on my 6th straight Georgia run. It was my daughter's birthday, and I thought I could make it home in time. I was on this long, dark stretch of I-75 with nothing to look at but the white line when I saw it. It was in the middle of the road, coming straight at me with his teeth bared, red eyes staring. So I swerved to miss him. I lost control.
Where do you come up with this shit?
It's for real, Wes.
Yeah? And I bet you've seen UFOs and aliens with big eyes.
No. Just the black dog.
Randy Travis really felt it too, didn't he?
He did. And I feel like every time I watch that clip, I see something I never noticed before, or
Yeah.
hear something, and like I never heard the guy say like the Led Zeppelin song before.
Like the Led Zeppelin song?
And I was like, is that a Led Zeppelin song? I mean, I'm not a big Led Zeppelin fan, so I didn't know. I was looking it up while the video was playing, and I was like, oh, there is a Black Dog song by Led Zeppelin.
Was the Black Dog just jumping out the whole time, or?
I don't know. I didn't really look at the lyrics. But then also, like, the fiddle that plays while the dog is running up, that goes hard. It's like...
Yeah, it kind of gets... There's two parts that are my favorite, and it did, when he says, and it did.
Then
at the end, when he's kind of just like looking around and he kind of glances out the window and it ends. But it's like panning back to like Randy Travis, who's just like...
He's like all up in his face.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, they're a semi, which is a very large vehicle, but somehow they're very close.
Yeah, very, very close.
Put this guy in between them. Anyways, that's her cool story. So you said okay, so can we confirm that she does? I know you're not going to share anymore, but are there more stories?
She has 4 or 5 more stories. Things that she's seen on the road.
I bet people see, I mean, I know people see so much stuff doing that job.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So that would be interesting to hear those too.
I don't know how I'm going to top that.
Jeff Townsend Media. CG, good night.
And the question is, do I stay here? Will you be back? Are you going to come back? Will you be back? Are you coming back?